Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah, and today we're going to do a little bit of a plant care morning routine. So I was lacking a little bit of inspiration this week. We're just finishing up the school year. I've had a lot of just logistical stuff to work on this week, and I was like, what is something nice and easy and relaxing that I can do for my video this week? And today is actually Saturday morning. It's usually the day that I go around, take care of a lot of my plants. Not that I'm not watering them and checking on them through the week, but Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings usually are set aside for walking through, seeing what plants need some water. Today I actually have to do a flush and re-nutrient on my semi-hydroponics. So I thought I'd walk you guys along with me and show you kind of my process of taking care of all of my plants. So a typical kind of morning routine for me, I will walk around and look at all my plants, see kind of what state they're in, check them if they need water. I do that through a variety of methods. I might pick up the pot. A lot of them I can tell just by the weight if they need some water. I also do have a meter that checks the water, especially for some of my bigger plants that actually don't move. Those are a much easier way to just check the water levels on those. So most mornings I go ahead and start by misting my plants, which you'll see me doing in this video. And I think it's important to note that I live in a really dry desert climate. So for me to mist my plants in the mornings is actually really good for them. They really enjoy that. I know there's kind of some controversy whether or not it's good to mist your plants. I think people who have a lot more humidity in their air definitely misting your plants may or may not be a great idea. But for me, everything dries out so quickly here and I'm always fighting to get as much moisture as I can. So I found most of my plants actually do enjoy just a light mist in the mornings. So most mornings, actually sometime around that first cup of coffee, maybe when it's brewing, I'll walk around and go ahead and just give my plants a quick mist. So the next thing I will do on a typical Saturday morning is go around and check all of my large plants first. I like to check like my monsteras, my fiddle leaf fig, some of these plants that actually don't move an awful lot. They're just too big. So I'll go around and check the moisture levels on those and take my watering can and water them as needed. Some of these big plants, especially like the monstera, I might be checking a couple times a week just because they're so big. They might be using a lot of water, especially right now as they're putting out new growth here in the spring. I like to just keep an eye on them and make sure they have plenty of water. So on a week that I am not flushing my semi-hydroponics, I will take that same watering can and go around and just top off the water levels in there. I will pH adjust my water as needed first, but that's a really simple way. They just need to be topped off. Like I said, I only flush them about every 2 to 3 weeks, kind of depending on what my schedule does. So again, in a kind of normal week, I would take my plants out of their cover pots, bring them over to the sink and run them through with water, making sure they get plenty of watering. A few of my plants, some of like my peperomia and stuff, I might bottom water. But for the most part, a lot of them like to just have that full flush of water through them. And I do try to balance out my schedule. I have so many plants. I try to balance between flushing out my semi-hydroponics and putting new nutrients in there and feeding my plants. I like to do like a really weak fertilizer mixture every few weeks. So I try to make sure those don't fall on the same week. It just kind of balances out the workload for me. And actually, I believe next week I am due for another light feeding for most of my plants. If you'd like to see another kind of morning routine similar to this, with me actually going ahead and feeding my plants, if you are interested in that, let me know in the comments down below. I might go ahead and film that for you as well. So I do like to go around and check every single one of my plants. I like to check under the leaves, make sure if the leaves need to be dusted or make sure there's no pests. And just like I said, kind of keeping my eye on them so I can notice any changes that happen and keep an eye on kind of their general health level, and I'm seeing it week to week. But like I said, today is actually a semi-hydro flush and re-nutrient day. So I will get all set up with that. I will set up in my kitchen and I will walk you through a little bit of the process of that. Okay, so as you can see, I went ahead, I collected up most of my semi-hydroponics plants, not all of them. I can't quite fit all of the ones I have in semi-hydro on this kitchen counter and feel like I'm working effectively. So I usually like to do like half and half. I'll collect a bunch from one room, do all of those, put them back, and then do the next batch. I also have to mix up multiple batches of my nutrients, so it works out perfectly that way. You can see most of my semi-hydro that's up here, I haven't even touched yet. I like to do that all in one batch too. So I went ahead, I already mixed up some of my nutrients. If you want to see that mix, how I mix that up, I'll go ahead and link my semi-hydro care video. You can see that I've already pH adjusted this, put all my nutrients in there and everything. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to rinse out all of my leca, and then I will refill it with some nutrient water. I wanted to point out, hopefully you guys can see, there is some white mineral deposit here on this leca. That's perfectly normal, and that's why you go ahead and you rinse out the leca, just to get that mineral nutrient deposit rinsed off of there so that it can be absorbing the water and the nutrients as effectively as possible. You may have also noticed that I have my mosquito bits out. I like to throw a couple of these into that water that is standing in the bottom of the pot just to make sure that I keep the fungus gnat population at bay. I don't notice a whole lot with my semi-hydroponics, but I do like to just be proactive about it. So a few of these in the bottom will help to curb that population as well. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Let me know in the comments down below if you have kind of a care routine for your plants and kind of what that looks like. I like to set aside a specific day or a couple of days to really focus in on my plants. So let me know if you do something similar, or if you're kind of somebody who checks on them and waters them all throughout the week. Let me know that down in the comments below. If you're not already subscribed, take a moment, hit that subscribe button, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next week with a very special video. It is actually the 1-year anniversary of me starting this channel, and I have a very, very special rare plant giveaway that I will be doing next week, so be sure to check back next week for that video. Thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.